we're going to explain how to resolve the converting circular structure to JSON error in JavaScript. This error happens when you try to convert a JavaScript object to a JSON string, but that object contains a circular reference, meaning one object refers back to itself either directly or indirectly through a chain of references. JSON, by its nature, can't represent these circular structures. Let's look at how to fix this. 1. Understanding circular references. A circular reference occurs when object A points to object B, and object B points back to object A, or indirectly through other objects. For example, imagine a user object that has a friends array, and one of those friends is the user itself. JSON doesn't know how to handle this self-referential loop. It leads to an infinite loop as the JSON serializer tries to represent the object, resulting in the error. 2. Identifying the circular reference. The first step is finding where the circular reference is in your code. Carefully examine your object structure, looking for properties that might point back to the parent object or other objects in a cyclical way. Debugging tools in your browser's developer console or a debugger in your IDE can help pinpoint the exact location of the problem. Sometimes simply printing out the object structure to the console log my object, can reveal the circular reference. 3. Using JSON stringify with a replacer function. The most common solution is to use the optional replacer function in JSON stringify. This function lets you control how the object is serialized. You can use it to detect and skip circular references. The replacer function receives the key and value of each property being stringified. If you detect a circular reference, you might need a scene object to keep track of already visited objects. You can return undefined, effectively omitting that property from the JSON output. 4. Example replacer. Function. Here's a simple replacer function. JavaScript function replacer. Key, value. If, type of value, keys, object, and in value. Null. If, scene value, ID. Assuming objects have an ID property for unique identification, return undefined. Scene value.id equal true. Return value. Let scene key. Keep track of visited objects. Let JSON string JSON. String ify my object replacer. Scene exa. Reset for subsequent usage if needed. This function uses a scene object to track objects already encountered during serialization. If it encounters an object it has already seen, it returns undefined, preventing the circular reference from being serialized. 5. Alternative approaches. Besides using a replacer function, you can pre-process your object before stringifying it. You could create a copy of the object, removing properties that are causing the circular references. This approach might be simpler if you understand precisely which properties are creating the issue. Alternatively, if your data model allows, consider restructuring your data to avoid circular references in the first place. This often leads to a more efficient and robust design. For complex cases, libraries that specifically handle circular structures might be helpful. In summary, the converting circular structure to JSON error is usually addressed by employing a replacer function within JSON. Stringify, to intelligently omit problematic parts of the object during serialization, or by restructuring your data to avoid circular references altogether. Remember to choose the approach best suited to your specific situation and data structure.